funny IT word. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to this week's Kabbalat Shabbat. And it's with great pleasure I invite Morris to give us a Dvar Torah.
Thank you very much. According to the Julian calendar, today is the 357th anniversary of the Great Fire of London. And in 1666, it was a Thursday, the 2nd of Elul, 5426. At that time, there was a significant Jewish presence close by Pudding Lane. So could it be that the fire was caused by the production of halot for Shabbat? Interestingly, little damage was done to the streets then occupied by the Jews. The Great Fire of London ended the Great Plague and provided a new start, a chance to cleanse the city. Rather like the month of Elul, lead up to the new year, it gives us a chance to cleanse our souls. This was not the only notable thing that happened on the 2nd of Elul. For example, 2nd of Elul, 5081, that's August the 21st, 1321, the Jews of Chinon in France were accused of poisoning the wells to cause an epidemic in the Christian community. 160 Jews were burned at the stake on the nearby island, which was then called Îles des Juifs, the island of the Jews. 2nd of Elul, 5207, August 23rd, 1447. The Jews of Poland and Lithuania were granted a Charter of Rights. 2nd of Elul, 5313, that's 1553, Pope Julius III ordered the confiscation and burning of all copies of the Talmud because it contained anti-Christian statements. 2nd of Elul, 5315, August the 29th, 1555, the Code of Jewish Law, authored and completed in Safat by Rabbi Yosef Karo, had its first printing and was published in Venice 2 years after its completion. It is, together with its commentaries, the most widely accepted compilation of halakha or Jewish laws ever written. As a nation, we're never far from food. Thus, the Code of Jewish Law is referred to as a set table, or more commonly, the Shulchan Aruch. After completing his magnum opus, the Bet Yosef, Karo read opinions he hadn't seen before, which he then included in the Shulchan Aruch. Both of these documents follow the same structure as Dvar Torah by Jacob ben Asher, the Tur. The Shulchan Aruch consists of 4 volumes, and each is subdivided into many chapters and paragraphs. There's Orach Chaim, laws of prayer and the synagogue, Shabbat and holidays. The Yored Dera, laws of kashrut, conversion to Judaism, mourning laws, and laws pertaining to Israel and Niddah. Ever Chazar, laws of marriage, divorce and related issues. Chodesh Mishpat, laws of finance, financial responsibility, damages, personal and financial, and the rules of the Beth Din, as well as the laws of witnesses. Karo initially intended to rely on his own judgment regarding differences of opinion between the various authorities, especially where he could support his own view based on Talmud. Abandoning this idea, he adopted the halachot of Rabbi Isaac Afasi, the Rif, Maimonides, the Rambam, and Asher ben Yehidi, the Rosh, as his standards. Accepting as authoritative the opinion of 2 of the 3, except in cases where most of the ancient authorities were against them, or in cases where there was already an accepted custom contrary to his ruling. The net result of these last exceptions is that a number of the cases Karo rules in favor of the Catalan school of Nachmanides, or Shlomo ben Ideret, the Rashba, thus indirectly reflecting the Ashkenazi opinions, even against the consensus of Alfasi and Maimonides. Karo was very often disputed cases without necessarily decided disputed cases without necessarily considering the age and importance of the authority in question. Simply expressing his own views, he followed Maimonides' example, as seen as Mishnah Torah, rather that of Jacob ben Asher, who seldom decided between the ancient authorities. Several several reasons induced Cairo to connect his work with the Torah instead of Maimonides' code. The Torah, although not considered as great an authority as Maimonides, was much more widely known, the latter being recognized only amongst Spanish Jews, whilst the former enjoyed a high reputation amongst Ashkenazim, Sephardim, and Italian Jews. Maimonides' code gave the result of his investigation, but Cairo intended to give the investigations themselves. He wished not only to aid the officiating rabbi in the performance of his duty, but to trace the development of particular laws from Talmud through to later rabbinic literature. Unlike the Torah, Maimonides' code includes all fields of Jewish law of both present-day relevance and those dealing with the past and future times, such as the laws of sacrifice, Messiah, kings, etc. While Cairo, whose interest lay in the ruling of the practical issues, the Torah seemed a better choice. The halakhic rulings of the Shulchan Aruch generally follow the Sephardi law and customs, whereas Ashkenazi Jews generally followed the halakhic rulings of Moses Isserlis, whose notes on the Shulchan Aruch indicated where the Sephardi and Ashkenazi customs differ. The importance of the minhagim in the prevailing local customs was a point of dispute between Cairo and Isserlis. While Cairo held fast to the original authorities and material reasons, Isserlis considered the minhagim of great importance and not to be admitted in the codex. This reason spurred Isserlis to write his notes to the Shulchan Aruch, and that the minhagim of the Ashkenazim should be recognized and not set aside through Cairo's reputation. These notes are widely referred to as the mappa, literally the tablecloth to the Shulchan Aruch's set table. Almost all published editions of the Shulchan Aruch include these notes, and the term Shulchan Aruch has come to denote both Cairo's work as well as Isserlis's, with Cairo usually referred to as the Makhaber, the author, and Isserlis as the Rema, an acronym of Moshe Isserlis's name. The author himself didn't have a very high opinion of this work, remarking that he'd written it to clarify for young students. He never referred to it in his responsa, but always to the Bet Yosef. The Shulchan Aruch achieved its reputation and popularity not only against the wishes of the author, but perhaps through the very scholars who criticized it. Rabbi Yosef Karo wrote the code in his old age for the benefit of those who are unable to understand his more comprehensive work, Bet Yosef. Since its publication, the Code of Jewish Law has become the gold standard upon which all subsequent commentaries and responsa are based. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you very much, Morris, for that wonderful Dvar Torah history of the Shulchan Aruch and the Torah, etc. Interesting, you mentioned the Five-Day Fire of London killing the plague. Remember the song Ring a Roses? They put a posy on the front door to try and get rid of the plague. We had something more powerful, a mezuzah. Shabbat. Thank you very much.